next thing we're going to do, some pork chops for stuffing. So on this, we want each half to be a little under an inch. So there's one. Two. Three. And four. Now, we're going to get these ready for stuffing. What you want to do, I have a very sharp little knife here. I'm just going to make a pocket in these. We're going to be stuffing these with Boursin cheese. Old-time recipe of mine. Just make sure you've got a nice pocket. You don't want to go all the way through. You have a nice pocket in there to stuff. Same thing with all of these. And then when we do our breading, get ready to cook them, I'll show you how we keep that stuffing from coming out. These would also work if you wanted to do some sage stuffing inside, bread stuffing, cornbread stuffing. Stuff them with about anything you want to. You could actually do these with a Florentine stuffing inside. It's again important to have a really nice sharp knife for this. I just went through and sharpened knives this morning. I use them quite a lot and they tend to dull down a bit. Buy some good knives, spend some money on them if you can. Hold an edge longer, it'll last forever. Okay, pocket in the last one. These we're just going to put in a container and they'll go back into the refrigerator until it's time to cook them a little bit later. Time to make some imitation Boursin cheese that we're going to stuff our boneless pork chops that we cut up earlier. Wonderful recipe. Boursin cheese happens to be extremely expensive, and years ago discovered that I could make almost the same thing myself. And so I've got here 8 ounces of cream cheese and a half a stick of butter, and that is at room temperature. So now we're going to start adding our herbs, which basically that's Boursin cheese. It's a soft cheese and loaded with herbs. So we're going to start out, I'm going to use half a teaspoon of rosemary, but I don't happen to have any powder. So we're going to use the old spice grinder here, coffee grinder, whatever you want to call it. Put our okay, this recipe, that's good enough. Into our cheese it goes. We're going to use a scant 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. We'll use half a teaspoon, one of my favorites, Old Bay. We're also going to add, partially because this is going in pork, this will work great in pork or in chicken, we're going to add half a teaspoon of sage to that. We're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. Something a little extra this time because I happen to have lavender growing outside my front door. We're going to put some lavender in that, give it a little bit of a floral note to it, make it very good. Just take the little blossoms off, put them right in there. You just want to cream this all together. those herbs mixed in there well. It's full of flavor. Great for stuffing in things. Make sure it's all worked in well. My hands are clean. I wash them every 5 minutes or so while I'm working on things here. Yeah, a little bit down in the corner there to get out. Get it mixed in. Now with this is going to go back into the refrigerator for a couple hours because you do want it cold when you stuff the pork chops. If you are stuffing with bread stuffing, anything like that, you want that to be room temperature. But with the cheese, you want it to be cold when it goes in so that it'll hold its shape better, hold together during the whole process of breading, browning, and roasting that we're going to be going through with that. So there you have it. This was about $2.10 compared to about $8 for 5 ounces. And I've got well over 8 ounces here. So obviously we're saving a little bit of money there and get some great food. So see you when we stuff the chops. Time to stuff some pork chops. We've got the boneless loin chops that we cut off our whole pork loin. And we cut our pockets in them using handy dandy little sharp knife. Just make sure those are opened up good. You don't want to go all the way across when you do this. Make your opening smaller and open them up on the inside. And we've got our homemade imitation Boursin cheese. It's been chilling. Use a spoon. Get some of this stuffed inside. Make sure it's pushed down in there really well. And you don't want it so full that you can't close the chop up. So there you go. Plenty of nice boursin inside. Go on and do the rest of them here. We've got 4 that we're going to cook today. Pretty simple process. Just takes a little time to get them all put together. Again, nice and full. Still close it up. As we proceed into our breading and everything here, you'll see why it's important that we can still close that pork chop up. This is going to provide bulk of the flavor in these. Okay, got that part done. Set that boursin aside, use it for something else. Okay, we've got flour here, just regular all-purpose flour. In this bowl, I'm going to do 2 eggs. 2 tablespoons of milk. Whip it up. That's it for that. And then we also have breadcrumbs. These are breadcrumbs that I made, actually from homemade bread. I usually wait, when the bread gets a little stale, I put it in the freezer. When I get enough, take it out, thaw it, cut it in cubes, throw it in a fairly warm oven just to let it dry out, and then use the food processor to make the breadcrumbs. So now we're going to start with the breading process. First, we're gonna go with the flour on these. And one of the things you want to make sure that you've got flour in where you close that pork chop up around the stuffing. We'll go ahead and get these all floured up at the same time. Once again, making sure you've got plenty of flour around that seam. That is going to help hold your filling in. While I'm doing this, I have about an inch of vegetable oil heating in a cast iron skillet so we can get these browned off. Once again, making sure you've got that flour in that seam. Okay, next we're going to go into the egg wash. Make sure you've got it all covered. The flour helps the eggs stick to it, so you've got something for the breadcrumbs to stick to. Just make sure you've got the whole thing covered. Press them in a little bit. One done. A lot of steps to this particular recipe, but I think it's worth it in the end. They really are fantastic. I haven't made this particular dish for probably 15, 16 years, so I'm anxious to taste it again. Number 3 done. Okay, we've got 4 Boursin-stuffed boneless chops ready to go. Going to, as soon as our oil finishes heating up, give these a nice little browning. Okay, our oil is ready. This particular pan I'm cooking in today belonged to my grandmother. It's probably about 90, 95 years old. Really not much can go wrong with cast iron. Okay, we're going to gently put these in. And what we're going to do here, we're just going to nicely brown these. I'm not trying to finish them off in here. My stove, I have it set on medium. It's all going to depend on the settings on your stove. So now I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. After we're done with this, I'll spend a little time in the oven and finish cooking all the way through. these. Okay, a nice brown crust on there. Golden. Good. Very gentle when you turn these over. Want to make sure that breadcrumbs don't burn. There's our, and on the other side, I've lined a baking sheet with aluminum foil. Really just makes the cleanup a little bit easier. Not quite, just about there. There we go. This one's right. You put these on a pan, make sure that got space around them so they all cook evenly. Okay, part's done. Turn that off. Okay. Time to put them in the oven. And there they go. I'm going to set this timer for 20 minutes. We'll check them in 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes has passed. 20 minutes was exactly right. I took them out of the oven, and as you can see, even though we were very careful, some of the stuffing does come out, mainly because it gets hot and gets very liquid. So, what we're going to do, let's cool off a bit. I actually have had them sitting here for just a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to try one of these. So 20 minutes was just enough to make a quick batch of rice. So we'll lay down a bed of rice there on the plate. Take one of our chops. Nestle it down in that rice there. All you have to add to this, add a salad or a vegetable, you've got a fantastic meal. Let's go ahead and cut this open. Wow. See that filling comes out perfectly cooked. It's nice, moist, tender. This provides a sauce for your rice at the same time. So I can't resist. Have to try some. Oh yeah, that's the flavor I remember. Excellent, excellent meal. So there you have it. Boursin-stuffed boneless pork chops and rice. So from here at Not My First Kitchen, I'll see you next time.